I,
I, Mukta Gupta,
having been appointed as an additional judge of the High Court of Delhi,
having been appointed as an additional judge of the High Court of Delhi,
do swear in the name of God
do swear in the name of God
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established,
that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India,
that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India,
that I will duly and faithfully and to the best of my ability, knowledge and judgment perform the duties of my office without fear or favor, affection or ill will,
that I will duly and faithfully and to the best of my ability, knowledge and judgment perform the duties of my office without fear or favor, affection or ill will,
and that I will uphold the Constitution and the laws.
and that I will uphold the Constitution and the laws.
Ma'am, what can I say except to say that we all love you. And ma'am, you are I think that, and I was telling my young colleagues this, that you are a pioneer in so many ways. I think criminal law and women, I mean, there is no saying anything that there's anyone but you. Also, one important thing I want to say is that you were a very fair prosecutor, ma'am. And I think as a defense counsel, you realize the importance of a fair prosecutor more than anyone else. And I think it's a rare breed, really, to be a fair prosecutor, to be an upright prosecutor, and to do the right thing always. And ma'am, I think you carried it to the bench with you. And I think everyone agrees we had to be super prepared before. I don't think anyone sitting here will say, I think you needed to know everything about your file. And but I think one thing was, I think the beauty of your orders were that you would not go on and come right to the meat of the matter. And I think that's just a hallmark of how good you were as a lawyer, and that translated. Ma'am, we are very fortunate to have you, and I really wish that that we learn from you and we learn from your rigor.
One thing which I was missing all these years was
Didi.
Mukta Didi. So it's time for us now to just call you as Mukta Didi back. I don't know, that smiling face of yours never justified the position which you were having, ma'am, as a judge, because you were always so smiling and receptive to everyone, each one of us, no matter whether we used to meet you there in court or outside. That smiling face of yours is something which is imprinted in our heart and our mind, and that's a role model for each one of us, that lawyers are perceived as someone who is very serious, black and white, but it is you, your smile, which gives colors to each one of us. So we are so lucky, and this is going to be your longest coffee break, so just enjoy, redesign, Didi. We are there with you, and you just keep inspiring us the way you've been inspiring us. We love you genuinely from you. Thank you so much.
From the time that you used to practice to the time you were on the bench to now when you are starting a new series, they have maintained the same expression for you, and that's the quiz for you. Do you know what our male colleagues call it? And that's why I said here I can actually ask
one
you.
thing I know, snobbish.
Along with her, they always walk behind her. But ma'am, the answer is Lady Singham. They say, she is the protector and she had the guts to do it. And for male colleagues in the profession to say that, ma'am, it's very heartening for us that they do put you on that pedestal. You really set high standards for us. Thank you so much.
Taken something from the Google Guru, a quote from Richard Pack: "Don't be dismayed by goodbyes. A farewell is necessary before you can meet again. And again, meeting again after moments or lifetimes is certain for those who are friends." Unquote.
Good evening, everyone. I, on my behalf and on behalf of Delhi High Court Women Lawyers Forum, we would like to extend a warm welcome to Honorable Justice Mukta Gupta. And we also welcome Justice Neena Krishnan Bansal and my senior colleagues, friends, and my advocates.
We have all gathered here today to felicitate and bid a warm farewell to a very distinguished, popular, appreciated, respected Senior Judge of Delhi High Court, Ms. Mukta Gupta. To say the least, I am still short of words to describe ma'am. Our strength here today, ma'am, shows that how much you are loved, respected and admired by all. I hope we all have a memorable evening today.
We request Senior Advocate Ms. Priya Hingorani to welcome Honorable Justice Mukta Gupta.
We entrust Ms. Renu to welcome Honorable Ms. Justice Neena Krishnan Bansal.
And one thing that really touched me, ma'am, and I must say that before I start, she said, we have always seen her only as a judge. It was a pleasure discovering her journey. And so, that's her work, ma'am, that you must see, on how the youngsters see you.
The life of this forum, in fact I should be saying the lifeline, the Supergirl.
Since I have a bad reputation of getting emotional, I'll try my best to be very brave since it's your felicitation. On behalf of all of us in the forum, ma'am, Honorable Justice Mukta Gupta, Honorable Justice Neena Krishnan Bansal, learned senior colleagues and members of the bar, we have gathered here today to felicitate Honorable Justice Mukta Gupta, who both as a leading criminal lawyer, the first woman standing counsel criminal for the government of Delhi, and as an honorable judge of the High Court, has risen above gender. It is also our proud privilege that Justice Mukta Gupta is the senior most woman judge in the country, and like those before her has set an example that a woman is as capable and strong as anyone else to discharge this highest constitutional office. The first time I saw Justice Gupta, she was walking from the lift to court number 2. Lawyers in the corridor were respectfully making place and were nodding and bowing as she passed. As an occasional visitor to the High Court from the District Court, I innocently asked a senior colleague, "Who is this judge?" He smiled and replied, "She is not a judge, but the Standing Counsel criminal." I was in awe. What an office, I thought, that gives a person such stature. It is only after being an additional Standing Counsel for 7 years, with all humility, I must admit, an office only gives an individual power. It is the individual who gives the office stature. By Justice Mukta Gupta, with her astute knowledge of law, integrity, confidence, and sheer dint of hard work, established the gold standard of prosecution, a standard we have all struggled to achieve but only aspired to achieve. As a Standing Counsel, Justice Mukta Gupta led from the front and prosecuted the most difficult matters herself, including Jessica Lal, Naina Sani, Nitish Katara murder cases, apart from Parliament attack and 2000 Red Fort terror attack. As a young lawyer, I was one of the many who packed the court to hear the Parliament attack case. For the state, Justice Gupta led by Solicitor General Gopal Subramaniam. From the defence, Mr. Ram Jethmalani, briefed by Ms. Kamini Jaiswal, advocate. And on the bench, there was Justice Usha Mehra, presiding with a then young Justice Pradeep Nandrajog. For us youngsters, it was a masterclass in criminal law. The state did not make a single argument of prejudice. The defence did not indulge in any arguments of sympathy. The best legal minds displayed their brilliance in criminal law without any external considerations. There were no men or women in the court, just world-class lawyers and judges. That is the day the court rose above gender for me. Justice Mukta Gupta did not just break the glass ceiling of being the first woman Standing Counsel. She also, with her competence, broke the prejudice that women could not make good criminal lawyers. She won the confidence of the bar and the bench, broke the prejudice that women could not make good criminal lawyers. She won the confidence for the bar and the bench, not just for herself, but for all of us. Today, we can proudly say we have a robust and competent women's bar on the criminal side, and neither litigants nor the bench consider it unusual. After elevation as a judge of the Hon'Ble Delhi High Court, Justice Gupta continued her task of shattering gender prejudice. Knowledgeable, decisive, firm, with a robust common sense, she was respected by the bar, and her court never saw any indiscipline. She always ensured a high disposal rate and treated all counsels with fairness. On the criminal side, Justice Gupta never shied away from protecting citizens from the high-handedness of the state and was as firm in rejecting allegations against state agencies, if not borne out by the record. The numerous cases decided by Justice Gupta on the civil and criminal side have developed the law in many fields and are not being enunciated by me because of shortage of time. I would fall short in my duty if I didn't acknowledge Justice Gupta's role as a teacher and guide to the bar. Despite the heavy roster, she made time to guide the state on better and fair status reports. She would always tell us, check the facts before stating them in court, and the defense on relevant judgments rather than rhetoric. Though strict, Justice Gupta was never mean. She never recorded adverse remarks against lawyers and gave people a chance to do better and be better. When we sit in the bar room today, male and female lawyers talk about the fact that the court is going to lose a fair lawyer, a fierce lawyer, a fair judge, a fierce judge, a strict judge. But it is never said that there is a woman judge who is going. And we women sitting in the bar room are filled with pride that you have risen above gender. To come to an end, Elizabeth I, the first Queen of England, had to defend her strength as a female leader, saying, I know I have the body of a woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a king. Her rule thereafter was so glorious that the English people today prefer a queen to a king. Similarly, Justice Mukta Gupta has opened many minds to the realization that women can be great lawyers and judges if given the chance. On behalf of Delhi High Court Women Lawyers Forum, I thank you, ma'am, for this inspiring legacy of optimism, self-belief and dignity, both as a professional and as a person. There's only the share of Mirza Ghalib that can summarize your lordship's legacy, and I think everybody has guessed it. खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से ये पूछे बता तेरी रजा क्या है.
It gives me an immense pleasure to be part of this occasion where we are celebrating the journey of our most respected and loved judge of Delhi High Court. I would say some women fear the fire, some simply become it. So ma'am has become the fire and she's a live example of that in her career, in her journey. Ma'am is an inspiration and role model for many of us, and she has broken glass ceilings to achieve her success. When I was interested in this profession, I saw ma'am. When I came in the year 1993, I saw ma'am, admired her. She used to walk with her crisp sari, followed by these people. She walked with such grace and strength that I looked up and said, who is this woman? I mean, we would like to be with her. So that was the first impression I think everyone who joined profession at that time got from ma'am. When ma'am was a standing counsel, I was in the chamber next to the ma'am. So there, I would always see in the morning at 10:20, there would be 10 to 15 police officials all standing, all ranks, seniors to juniors, everyone, waiting to brief ma'am. And suddenly 10:20 ma'am would come out and they all would just follow her, wish her, salute her and follow her. So that image of ma'am, people saluting and she walking with 10, 15 policemen behind stayed with me, ma'am, always. So the power and we must appreciate this fact of ma'am being a standing counsel at that time in the year 90s. Why? Because there were very less women who were in practice, independent individual practice on their own, and there were less women in criminal practice. And also there were hardly, as she said, first standing counsel ma'am was. So there were no standing counsel as a woman. So ma'am broke all the barriers, and today if we see that all these women, we have a lot of AVPs and all, why are we there? Because ma'am set trends for us. Ma'am opened doors for everyone. So it is because of her effort, her breaking the barriers, that we all stand where we are. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for that. Ma'am was also respected by the bench, the senior members of the bar, and the youngsters. I remember an incident where Delhi police had engaged Mr. Gopal Subramaniam, senior advocate, for a matter, and ma'am was also in that matter. So one date of hearing, Mr. Subramaniam could not come. So the Delhi police officials, I know few the senior one, they were requesting, no sir, you must come, what will happen to our matter? Mrs. Gopal Subramaniam was asked by Delhi police to please come and represent. They said, what will we do without you? So I distinctly remember, because I was there in the meeting, his comments were, why do you worry? Mukta ji is there. She's better than me. She will argue your case. Don't worry. Go. She will take care of it. So that was the respect ma'am commanded from all the seniors and the bar and the bench. Ma'am is a very humble, down-to-earth person and very polite, and she has remained the same even shifting to the bench. She has always come forward for social causes, both as an advocate and as a judge. As an advocate, in an interview, somebody asked ma'am, which case do you remember the most? The man said that my most remarkable case was the rehabilitation of sex workers. Ma'am had done fantastic work. She took deep interest in the matter and helped so many women to resettle in their life. And ma'am thinks herself that that case of rehabilitation of sexual workers was a very commendable job ma'am did at that time as a standing counsel. And now even on that side as a judge, ma'am has contributed so much to the society. She was a part of Juvenile Justice Committee of Delhi High Court and has promoted skill development in employment for juveniles so as to rehabilitate them. Ma'am also heads a committee to regulate and monitor progress she conducted workshops for the online child sexual exploitation and abuse, and she is under the guidelines, the POSCO ma'am has regulated all that. So ma'am has done all the effort, and in this, just 2 days back, she has inaugurated that videos Milord has sent. So she has never stopped doing her social work and her contribution towards the society. And now if we come to ma'am, after in spite of all these professional academic achievements, ma'am has been a complete woman. She has been a beautiful daughter. She has been a adorable mother and a grandmother, I've heard now. And she is a sister also, I've come to know. She has taken care of her parents. She has taken care of the entire family. I still remember when ma'am's father was not well, she would come to the functions of the High Court wearing a mask, saying that I have to go back and take care of him so I can't carry infection home. So ma'am had been a very dutiful family member to everyone, to her family. So it's not that professionally she excelled as a woman. So ma'am, we are a complete woman and we are very proud of you. And ma'am, so you are the iron lady of our bar and the bench. And I would say, I will change the version. It is behind every successful woman, there is a woman herself, which is Justice Mukta Gupta.
We request Ms. Minalini Sen to felicitate Honorable Ms. Justice Pratibha Sen.
I request
Thank you so much. It was for ma'am today.
we request Sugandha Agarwal to felicitate Ms. Honorable Justice Jyoti Singh. Now I request the honorable judges on the dais to say a few words and offer their well wishes for ma'am's future endeavor.
Okay, good evening. Thank you to all the lovely ladies. Mukta ji, Meena, Poonam, Jyoti, and all the lovely bar of our High Court. It just seems so good to see all of you in color. We just see each other only in black and white the whole day, and it's just lovely to see everyone in summer and in colors. Thank you for having us, and thank you for holding this felicitation to Mukta ji, well deserved one. And I can say one thing, that when I joined this profession in this High Court, I mean, if anyone said criminal law, it was almost equivalent or synonymous with Mukta ji. And there was no doubt about it. I have seen her in the corridors of our court doing every day 20 matters a day, criminal side, even in fact in the appellate side, I remember. Mukta ji used to be always there, and of course the pinnacle of her career was doing the Parliament attack case, from what I remember, if I'm not wrong. And it's just lovely to see somebody who is so hi Mini. It's just wonderful to see someone who is so sorted in life. Mukta ji is very clear about everything, whether it's legal problems, social problems, personal problems. She's sorted. She's somebody who's not confused, who is very clear-headed, who doesn't need to be directed. She has a sense of direction on everything, and that I think is the fundamental part of her being, which is translated into her being such a wonderful judge and a decisive judge. Mukta ji doesn't take time to decide anything. And a couple of things I just wanted to add. Everyone knows her prowess in criminal law, but what amazed me was her prowess in patent law, especially pharmaceutical patent law. She's written some of the excellent judgments in this field, and I can say a lot of men would be scared of touching these cases. I remember I was doing the Hoffman LaRoche versus Sipla before a bench of Justice Nandrajog and Justice Mukta Gupta. It's like marked as the biggest judgment in India's pharmaceutical field. And from there on, ma'am has done some of the biggest pharma cases, and as smoothly as any other civil law or any other criminal case. And I think that gives her a lot of credit for her multifaceted personality, her grounding in the law. And it doesn't matter which branch you're from, you can do any case so long as your logical sense is in the right place. And all the very best, Mukta ji, for your career ahead. Wonderful life, and I'm sure you'll now glow again as a senior counsel. Welcome, Rekha. Yeah, so wishing Mukta ji a wonderful career, lot of glory, lot of ceilings much more to break, or just lift the ceiling itself. And I know that for all of us and for all the women in this room, you're always there. And all the very best from all of us. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. So, all of us know as lawyers, probably all of us, when ma'am was a lawyer, even at that point of time, all of us used to look upon her so much and see the way she conducted herself, ran about from one court to another, and despite her long list, she would just attend each and every case. So I think she was an inspiration for all of us, not only as a judge, but even as a lawyer. So I remember those days when we used to just look upon her that way. And then as a judge also, I got a wonderful opportunity to sit with my ma'am and start my innings as a judge with her. And she was a revelation, actually, before I became a judge, I used to feel so scared of her. Because she was so stoic at times in court and all that. But when I sat with her, I discovered she's a coconut, actually. Hard from inside maybe, but such a soft and kind and loving person from inside. And she takes everyone under her wings. And it's such a pleasure to know her, and she takes care of you as an elder sister. And I think I can speak for all of us sitting here. All of us can just go to her for guidance on anything, be it professional or personal, and she's there for all of us. So such a wonderful person, she's there. And of course, and we always tell her, ma'am, we won't let you forget us, we will keep on troubling you. So yes, it's a wonderful innings for ma'am, and she's an inspiration for everyone, each and every one of us here, be it when she was a lawyer or as a judge. So, and what a strong woman she is. I think that's something to look for. So thank you, everyone.
Now I request Ms. Sunita to felicitate Honorable Ms. Justice Vinay Bushkarna. Words are powerful and they live forever. Therefore, we invite the chief guest of the evening to say a few words. Ladies, put your hands together. Honorable Ms. Mukta Gupta,
afternoon, everybody. Your words today have really touched me. Taking my journey from the start to this place, the young girl, Miss Virvani, who's prepared the video, it's remarkable. I'm grateful to you. I don't have so many photographs of mine. I have forgotten that I did so many functions, but you have all of them. You know, there are certain things which really affect you. And one more revelation which I had, and I am grateful that you reminded me what I am called as Lady Singham. So tomorrow if you know something about me, I know it's for me. So if there are other hidden comments, compliments, please be fair to tell me today. Unless when I go in profession, I say, must be speaking for someone. That it's happening for me. Actually, I never thought that I would lead to this position. I was, as a judge, I went for physiotherapy. And the physiotherapist of the High Court said, ma'am, my daughter wants to meet you. I said, but how does she know me? She said, there is a chapter in the NCRT book which tells about each profession. And when they talk about public prosecutor, the chapter in NCRT 8th standard book speaks and that chapter in an NCRT 8th standard book has your photo on display and shows what the role of a prosecutor is. I thought, yes, this was something that the world at last recognizes, that somebody who works with dignity should be recognized. It's been a long journey from starting as a lawyer on the civil side, first on the tax side, then on the civil side. And can you believe it? When I became the APP in January 17th, 1993, I still remember that day, 23rd January 1993, the comment I got from one of my colleagues was, oh, you are the one who's never done criminal. I said, don't worry, there'll be no problem. And 2 months down, I was doing murder references. And I still remember Mr. Sood telling me and all his juniors, telling me that man is inside only because of you, because we had made a case of acquittal, but you got converted the death sentence into a life sentence. I don't know, I think people think something is difficult, but I never thought that what I am today or what I did. I took everything in the stride and slowly and steadily how it reached. Maybe it was destiny or whatever. But one thing which I was sure, I would never say no to anything. All these briefs, I never kept it to myself. I would ask everybody in the panel to do it. But seeing that there were 20 volumes, 30 volumes, 40 volumes, after keeping for a month or two, it would all land back to me, no, I don't have time, it's very difficult. And for the last then 2 days, I always had to prepare the matter and stand up in the court. But yes, I never said no, and that's why all this has happened. In fact, in Jessica matter, when I was doing it, that was the year when Nitya had her 10th standard examination. So she told me that my friend's father has taken 6 months off. I looked at her. What does she expect of me? I said, of course, that was just not possible. I told my colleagues when the date sheet came that this is a date sheet. So the day prior to the examination, keep it slightly less work so that I can go back home at 4 or 5 o'clock. I had just set that standard. And I had on the 22nd of this February that acquittal of Jessica, which called all uproars and everything, and that the appeal has to be filed. There was an SIT constituted. I would have 30 officers sitting in my office, and late night at third, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the night. Anyway, deadlines, we filed the appeal. When her result came, so she fared well and she got above 95%. So my brother-in-law congratulated me. She says, what has she done in this? In fact, she was not helping me, I was helping her. So there were all loads of people having tea, lunch, breakfast, dinner at home. With that, with the staff, you had also to take care of the phone calls. Of course, by that time they were not, everybody would call on mobile, still the landline would keep ringing and all those things. So this is how this pleasant journey went on and on. But as you rightly said, you know, people say Parliament, people say Red Fort, I don't know, Jessica. But my biggest passion is still to do something for people, and that was as a standing counsel when Justice Usha Mehra said, there was a writ petition pending. She said, if ever we are able to rehabilitate 2 women, I'll be happy. This writ petition is pending for 10 years and only we have the papers on it. They said, give me some time. We all know that Super Cop Chaya Sharma, you know, she was an IPS probationer.
Yes.
I got her as SHO Kamla Market. She was just a probationer. And then she raided, got those girls from desperate places, and I said, if there was a room, there would be table. Inside the table, there was a opening, and then in this place, there would be 20-30 girls tucked up. This is the way they just took them out. So that rescue operation of 350 happened, girls, but the challenge was how to rehabilitate them. Not one came forward. NCW, DCW, we do conferences, this is not our job. But as I am, if I take up a task, I don't leave it in between. I interviewed each and every girl with DCP headquarters. We had no psychologist, nothing. So it was arguing the matter, being their mentor, being their mother, being everything to them, psychologist, training them. Got in touch with so many people, got in touch with Amol, Prajwala, they gave them training. And 6 months that took. In the meantime, got the first time those girls were treated as victims. So got those statements recorded, and then these girls were then rehabilitated back to their family because Amul opened kiosk near their houses. Now when this girl started earning 8 to 10,000 per month, you know, the father, the husband, they all welcomed her. Before that, they were even refusing to recognize that she was a family member of theirs. Anyway, this settlement apart, I had never thought that I would be able to ever marry girls from GB Road. And it all started, amongst them one girl said, this boy comes to meet me and he's willing to marry. I said, okay. As a mother, you know, I got every inquiry done on that boy. And I was satisfied. I said, everything is fine. They are 2 brothers, good family, good work. So, yes, you will do it. That was the first marriage we performed. And the sister has 2 sons, so I made my sister do the Kanyadan in them. And that was the start, you know, when the girls saw that they could get married and happily started. Everybody said, Meri bhi shaadi kara do. Meri bhi kara do. And, you know, I used to go to Nirmal Chhaya every week. And seeing all this, everything, you know, if there is something positive, there is something negative, there is some positive of it. Haryana, the sex ratio is very poor. So panchayats used to come forward and say, "Ji, हमारे लड़के की भी शादी करा दो." So in that process, we were able to marry 25 girls. Wow. And can you believe it? I have never given my mobile number to the senior most police officer. But that 350 girls had my mobile number, that even if at the midnight you have any problems, call me up, I'll be there. that part of my journey was really beautiful, really something different. I don't know whether I would ever get that opportunity, though I tried to grab that opportunity while as a judge also, because whenever I got this problem while working as JJC and all, I did it, and this time from teaching them or getting them Amul kiosk, I got them training of the guards, and the confidence those girls had, that the title which came in the newspaper was From Survivors to Saviors.
Wow.
So the confidence those girls had that you don't need somebody to support you. You will be standing in the hospitals, the hotels, the malls, and you will be protecting every other girl who may be in difficulty. Was a great satisfaction on this. See, this is one profession where some out of the box thinking beside your own matter can make lot of changes. And in all these matters, I did nothing but some out of the box thinking, some personal thinking. The program which he was talking about 2 days ago also, just in January I thought it is too much. We are not giving proper sexual education to the children, and today every child is put to cyber offense. And that's when I think it was the IB day, me and the commissioner met. I said, I want your best cyber crime officers. He says, this is the team. And then I said, we must make such movies and all so that they get to know what is the solution available. It took us 4 months, first animated, no, this acting is not fine. I thought I have in the process excelled in editing, directing. Finally the shape came, I said, yes, this is the one, because when I see this, I feel, अरे मेरा बच्चा भी तो यही करता है, ऐसे ही तो फंसते हैं. So this is how we need to save them. I'm sure when all of you deal with your matters, you get across some people who have some problems. Try to touch those lives, try to help them, and that will be the one thing which will make difference. But I still remember when I sat on the original jurisdiction, the first day when Pratibha said, she said, in an inverted commas, it's an IPR. So I said, yes. Started, it's only a Dashi's liability. The next matter came again with a question mark. मैंने कहा yes, rule 6, order 6, rule 17 application start. Tell me what is the grounds you have with. So actually law is, except fiscal statute, law is common sense. If you have the right, the mind and the heart at the right place, everything follows. And I think this is in my mantra. I tried to do it in this fashion. I must say, in this beautiful journey, I had the support of all of you, all my friends who were there in the profession, all my well-wishers, and even at the bench, I have the support of all my sisters and brothers also. But one thing which I have never worked as, I have never played that, yes, I am a woman so I need this special treatment.
No victim.
I never play that card. I was a lawyer. I am a judge. So just keep that image in mind and work around. At times, there are instances in the court, let me be fair, where girls come, start crying and just say, then even start saying that, no, how can you do this? Why argue the matter? The consequences, if the men have to accept, you also have to accept. Be bold enough. Not every matter which you argue, you will be through. The judge may have something in his mind, and maybe you go to the appellate forum, you may get better result, but then ultimately it is your hard work which tells over there. You're not there to get the result. You have not contracted a result from the client. You have said that you will argue the brief to the best of your ability. Please do that and don't ever play that victim card in the court. It can be very detrimental. You know, I still remember in this process, I think I have worked with most of the super cops of the country. So one day, a difficult matter was going on, and again a cop who was, everybody used to be scared of it. So he was standing behind me. At the end of the day, my junior said, "Ma'am, if somebody sees him standing in the court, nobody would ever call him the super cop, because when in the court, he wants to be behind your framework totally, so that he can't." So a client is a client, whatever be the position. He always sees that protection in the lawyer. So be a lawyer, that's all, and then everything follows. Today there were many revelations, right from Lady Singham to the Iron Lady to everyone. But yes, good, I liked it, that all of you spoke your heart out, and thank you very much for this pleasant evening. It's been really, really surprising and very nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
While we stand here to say goodbye to you in one of your innings, this is not the end of the journey. This is only the beginning of another one. And so while we stand here to say goodbye to you, it's actually not goodbye. And here is a small music piece for you.
I can see it in your eyes that you are restless. The time has come for you to leave. It's so hard to let you go, but in this life I know you have to be who you were made to be. As you step out on the road, I'll say a prayer, so that in my heart you always will be there. This is not goodbye. I know we'll meet again, so let your life begin, 'cause this is not goodbye. It's just I love you to take with you until you're home again. The stirring in your soul has left you wondering, should you stay or turn around? Well, just remember that your dreams, they are a promise, that you were made to change the world. So don't let fear stop you now, 'cause this is not goodbye. I know we'll meet again, so let your life begin, 'cause this is not goodbye. It's just I love you to take with you until you're home again. Oh, I know the brightest star above was created by the one who loved more than we'll ever know, to guide you when you're lost. What started as a still small voice is raging now, and your only choice is to follow who you are. So follow who you are, 'cause this is not goodbye. I know we'll meet again, not goodbye. I know we'll meet again, so let your life begin, 'cause this is not goodbye. It's just I love you to take with you until you're home. It is I love you to take with you until you're home. It is I love you to take with you until you're home again.
So the hall is now full with smiles, laughs, giggles, but sadly the evening is coming to an end with mixed feelings. So may I now call upon Ms. Gayatri Virmani to give a thank you note.
Encourage more women to litigate is what Justice Mukta Gupta said at our tea soiree in March. I think 80 of us are gathered here today to celebrate her journey, the journey of one such incredible woman who has carved a path for herself as a litigator and a judge and inspired so many of us to practice criminal litigation. Thank you, Justice Mukta Gupta. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Justice Pratibha Singh, Justice Rekha Palli, Justice Jyoti Singh, Justice Neena Bansal Krishna, Justice Poonam Bamba, and Justice Mini Pushkarna for joining us today. It means a lot to us. There are 10 strong women on the bench currently, and we hope to see many more of us right up there. I would also like to thank the organizing committee members, Kajal ma'am, Priya ma'am, Nandita ma'am, Pranalini ma'am, Fauzia ma'am, Iram ma'am, Sunita ma'am, Deepika ma'am, Beena Shah ma'am, and Renu ma'am. The reception committee members, Rohini ma'am, Meenal ma'am, Sugandha ma'am, Rekha ma'am, Diksha, Neha, Rishika, Anjesh, Purva, Vishakha, and Purnima, and the photography team of Jhumjhum ma'am, Fauzia ma'am, Nandita ma'am, and Veera sir. This event would not have been possible without any of you. I would also like to thank two very special women right here, Iram ma'am, for making such beautiful handmade candle for our honorable judges. And of course, Nandita ma'am, without whom this event would not have been possible. And last but not the least, a very big thank you to all of you present here today for taking out your time to join us on a Sunday for our beloved Justice Mukta Gupta.
Thank you everyone for coming.
I can see it in your eyes that you are restless. The time has come for you to leave. It's so hard to let you go, but in this life I know you have to be. Who you were made to be. As you step out on the road, I'll say a prayer, so that in my heart you will be there. This is not goodbye. I know we'll meet again, so let your life begin, 'cause this is not goodbye. It's just I love you to take with you until you're home again. The stirring in your soul has left you wondering, should you stay or turn around? Well, just remember that your dreams, they are a promise, that you were made to change the world. So don't let fear stop you now, 'cause this is not goodbye. I know we'll meet again, so let your life begin, 'cause this is not goodbye. It's just I love you to take with you until you're home again. Oh, I know the brightest star above was created by the one who loved more than we'll ever know, to guide you when you're lost. What started as a still small voice is raging now, and your only choice is to follow who you are. So follow who you are, 'cause this is not goodbye. I know we'll meet again. Oh, this is not